This is Brett Benetti on 882 6PR. Now, one of my favourite times of the year is when Supanova comes to Perth, and it is happening again this weekend at the Perth Convention and Exhibition Centre. There's a great guest list for this event, including Chuck Norris, Kathleen Turner, Brandon Routh and more. But joining me in the studio right now, I'm very excited about this, Academy Award winner actor Richard Dreyfuss. Richard, welcome to Perth, and thank you for joining us here at 882 6PR.
Hello.
How's your trip to Perth been so far?
No worries.
No worries, good. Fantastic. Now, you're here for Supanova, as you know. Again, I love this event. I've been going for many years. But my question to you, are you ready to meet the fans in Perth?
Should I not be?
Well, we're an interesting bunch here. So the cosplayers are a feature as well. So they put an extra effort into their costumes and that. So anyone ever come up to you dressed as Bruce the Shark?
Many times.
Many. Wow, I didn't expect that. So one of my favourite movies growing up was Jaws. I mean, I was 2 when it first came out, but again, I grew up with it mainly in the 80s, and I've seen it hundreds of times. I mean, is Jaws the thing that you get asked about the most? Because you've done so much in your career.
Jaws is probably the one that gets more than any other, to the extent that I have a deal with the audience, if there's an audience.
Yeah.
And that's, if you ask me a question that I've not heard, I'll pay you $10. And if you ask me a question that I have heard, you pay me $10.
All right. Well, I might be getting $10 out because I try with these sort of things, but you never know. But one thing I do have rare, right in front of us, is a statue of Bruce the Shark. I got this from Sideshow Collectibles. There's only 250 of these things worldwide, and I know you've seen a couple of them around, so I was very happy. It's been in my man cave for years, so I was happy to bring him out for a special occasion. I learnt, again, after seeing the movie so many years, I only learnt the shark's name was Bruce because that's the name of the statue. And then I started looking up and learnt that Bruce was the name of Steven Spielberg's lawyer. Yes. My question to you is, on the set, was it actually being referred to as Bruce on the set or afterwards? It
was being referred to as Bruce afterwards, but that was almost from the beginning. Bruce the man arrived pretty soon, so we were always calling him Bruce.
Yeah.
And it was also the shark.
Yeah.
And there were so many radio mics on the island of Martha's Vineyard that you could literally follow the progress of the movie just by listening to the radio mics all over the place. And you would every day hear something like, "The shark is not working. The shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working." And one day you heard, "The shark is working. Repeat, the shark is working. The boat is sinking. The boat is sinking." I was on the boat. And Robert Roy, myself, a 70-year-old sound man with a $50,000 Nagra tape recorder, and a stuntman were all on the boat, which was having its anchor ripped out from the ocean floor. And he, the stuntman, was trying to power the boat into the beach. And I was trying to help the 70-year-old sound man over the side of the boat. And Steven Spielberg was on a workboat nearby, and he was yelling, "Get the actors off the boat! Get the actors off the boat!" And I said, "Steven, he's 70 years old. Get the actors off the boat." And he used the F word. So that's the pecking order in Hollywood.
Were you felt at the time that you were on a real winner with this movie as well? I mean, did you ever fathom how big it was going to be standing the test of time?
Everyone else did.
Except for you?
Yeah, I thought it would tank.
Why is that?
Because I was an idiot.
Well, I'm glad you were wrong, so had to be wrong sometime anyway, so no, that's fantastic. So one thing that I always wondered, did you ever find out, because obviously they brought out the movie Finding Nemo and the shark in that was named Bruce, was that any tribute to Jaws at all?
I
Hello, Dory.
No
Name's
idea.
Bruce.
I have to find out.
There you go. Then you might be owing me $10. It's sort of linked to that, isn't it? So maybe, I don't know. I still might be owing you $10 after this interview. I mean, again, I've got to show you a picture of my man cave, which again, this is one of my prized possessions. But do you keep like mementos or special trinkets from the movies that you're in?
I don't actually, and I've been castigated for that. Very
hindsight thing.
Good friend of mine once said to me, "You'll regret that later on," and sure enough, I have. But I don't have the collecting habit.
No.
So I have memories.
I should contact Sideshow Collectibles and try and get you one of these things. So that'd look good on in your mantelpiece at home, I think, because it's iconic. So, but look, again, you've had such a magnificent career. When you look back, do you have like any special favourite? I mean, again, you've done so much, but do you have a favourite movie or favourite moment that you've actually been involved in?
I don't have a favorite film. I have all but two, I would think, maybe three, that I didn't like, and I will never tell you those three.
I was going to ask you, it's like, because I speak to different people all the time, it's like, have you ever been any roles that you look afterwards and think, damn, I wish I hadn't have done that. So, but you're not going to tell me those two movies.
No, I have done almost exactly that.
Yeah.
I've driven down the 405 freeway 3 or 4 years after I've done a project, and I've gone, oh, damn it, I now know how to do it.
You did make me laugh. I think it was probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I was watching, you'd probably call it a bad movie, but I like the bad movies. I think they're quite funny, but you made a bit of a cameo and you made the line reference to, we're going to need a bigger boat, and it was in Piranha. I think it was Piranha 2.
Piranha 3D.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it was the second one of the two. I did see both of them, but it made me laugh. I saw you towards the end, and then obviously reference to the Jaws moment, and that made me laugh. So you like doing those little cameos in those moments?
No, actually, I had done it only for one reason. They had asked me to do it, and I said no. Mm-hmm. And I said no a number of times until finally one of the producers, upon hearing that I was involved in an attempt to bring civics back to the grades below high school graduation, he said to me, "You had me at civics." And he then offered me an amount of money for the civics initiative that I couldn't turn down.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that turned out. I'm glad you did it, to be honest with you. It made me laugh.
The Weinstein brothers.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, again, you're looking fantastic. At 70, you're proving that age is just a number. You know, you're still keeping busy. I want to ask you what we should look out for in the future, because there's a few projects, but I did get asked about a movie called The Book Club, which you're appearing in. It's going to be coming out in August in Australia. So I believe it's got a great cast, including yourself, and I think it's about group of people reading the 50 Shades of Grey book. So is that something that...
Well, it's actually... it's interesting, the support system a film gets, because... that happens to be the only mainstream film I've done. All the others have been independent, without large budgets. And so Book Club was a well-supported film by a major studio. So I have a cameo. I have a cameo's cameo.
Yeah.
In that film.
Okay, yeah.
In it for a blink.
Yeah.
But... that's the one that people talk about because their support system is...
Well, that's why I noticed that one was coming out in the movie. And again, I read up to keep up to date with what you're doing. There seem to be many projects that you're sort of in post-production or coming up. And that was the one that I remember one of the movie executives in Perth said, this movie's coming out soon. It's going to be good and we should get on board with it.
Yeah,
I thought, Richard's in it.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's very... it's a chick flick about chicks who are all over 65 years old.
Yeah.
And they're the most famous chicks in Hollywood. So it's a very enjoyable film.
All right, it's perfect for our demographic here at 6PR, so that's perfect. Well, again, I can keep you all day, but Supanova, cosplay, comics, sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, nostalgia, and more come together to celebrate and express the inner geek, inner child. That's describing me to a T. Tickets are at Moshtick or at the door. You can see Richard Dreyfuss, get a photo, autograph. That's what you want to do. Richard, it is an absolute pleasure to have you in the studio. I look forward to seeing you over the weekend at Supanova and again, seeing what's next for you. But again, it's such a pleasure to meet you. And as you can see with this Bruce the Shark, you can tell I'm a fan. Thanks again for your
Smaller
time.
than you look like.
Great fun. Brett Bonetti doing a great interview there with the Academy Award-winning